This is the U.S. Youth Soccer National Championships, brought to you by Capri Sun, the official ready-to-drink juice drink of U.S. Youth Soccer. And Kohl's, the official department store of U.S. Youth Soccer. Liberty Mutual Insurance, the official sponsor of U.S. Youth Soccer. Mango.org. Mango is the official snack of U.S. Youth Soccer. And Nesquik. Nestle Nesquik is the official post-game drink of U.S. Youth Soccer. I'm Todd Panula, and you're watching this presentation brought to you by Turbo Sports Group. We have brought you all the games here at this tournament. Hopefully you're enjoying them. We're about to bring you a U14 Group A match between Baltimore Celtic Dynasty and GSA 01 Premier. Baltimore Celtic are coached by Mike Lookingbird. Helps to get your vowels right. And then GSA are coached by Nuno Pitira. Taking a look at the standings for Group A right now in the U14 group. Everybody is even right now through one game. Everybody scored a goal. Everybody had a goal scored against them. They are all tied with 1 point apiece. Right now, simply based on alphabetization, Cincinnati United, who is going to be playing on the field behind us against the Houstonians, they are right now in first place. Houston in second, Baltimore in third, GSA in fourth, but obviously there are various tiebreakers that would come into play before that. Your starting goalkeepers for GSA, it's going to be number 39, Hunter Andrews. He's wearing the blue kit. These goalkeepers today going with the short sleeves. Back when I played, never even occurred to me to play in short sleeves. I would have torn up my elbows. But then again, my form wasn't always the greatest. I was more of a reactionary keeper. But this isn't about me. This is about the teams that are about to play on the field. Baltimore Celtics goalkeeper is going to be Cole McNally. He will be number 0. He's coming over to the sideline. Don't know if he's planning on switching. Nope, just grabbing a bottle of water. So he will be wearing the, we'll call that a gray jersey. Baltimore Celtic will be going left to right. They will be all in white. The GSA is in red with the white trim and white numbers. They will be going right to left. So these two teams preparing to try to cement their position in Group A of this under-14 bracket. Again, the top two teams from each bracket will go through. They will play in the semifinals. And then the winners of those obviously will play in the championships. Baltimore Celtic will have it to open things up. Baltimore Celtic, one of the few teams to have multiple teams from the same club here. Baltimore Celtic also being represented by the U17 team. As quickly we get one out of bounds, and it'll go the way of GSA. U14 action here as GSA gets it up top to Kendall Edwards. He's going to take on the whole defense, and he's going to beat him. Look at the speed here. He takes it towards the near wing, still muscling off the defenders. Edwards much taller than just about everybody on the back line, except for maybe the left back for Celtic. Chaurez. To the far side. Natneo McDonald. GSA looking good in possession here in the early going. Baltimore Celtic being made to chase. On the ball now is Chavez. Far side, Celtic takes it with Annette Johnson. Back and forth they go. Good physical play here in the first couple minutes. Now here comes GSA. Tony tried to send it over to the corner, was successful, but looks like that's going to be a bit too far. Referee blows the whistle, and it'll be a free kick. Celtics struggling to get it past midfield here in the first few minutes. It's been mostly GSA, again clad in red, going right to left. Putting their stamp on this game here in the opening stages. Long way to go, though. GSA with it. Now Celtic able to make a steal, and instead coming away with it is Dylan Gaither. To the back line, switching the point of attack. Cherez over the half line, looking for space. Cherez again. Fakes out one defender. Trying to look for a through ball. And that one came too close to the goalkeeper. Now Baltimore Celtic trying to pick up on the counterattack, bringing it in. Trying a left-footed shot right at the keeper. Danique Parker has no choice but to put his hands on his head. He had a golden opportunity right there, right from the center of the box. But he ended up shooting it right at the goalkeeper. Chested down by Butts. Tukba over the near side touchline. GSA with the throw. Chavez will take it. Popped high up in the air. Good touch there from Shefsky. GSA with another attacking third throw-in. Chavez will get it in. Now it's with Tokba. He had his pocket picked. Baltimore Celtic trying to find something here. Bring it up with good speed and good touch. Muscling off the defender, then almost colliding with his own person. Kubadu and Parker came together. Celtic trying to send it up for Luke Davis. Offside. GSA with possession. Now they'll go back to the defense. Shefke sending it all the way back. Goes over to the far side. Here comes Baltimore Celtic picking up speed. Goalkeeper coming out. He's going to touch it over to the right. Hunter Andrews will boot it upfield. Coach Nuno Petira unhappy with that no call there as his player hit the deck. Miscommunication there might cost Celtic. Here comes GSA. Space in the midfield for Liam Butts. He has his feet taken out from underneath him, and there's a foul given.
He has his feet taken out from underneath him, and there's a foul given.
Right-footed shot towards goal, just wide. Dylan Gaither with an absolute rip. Foul will come out. Up through the midfield. GSA trying to gain possession. Springing the counterattack, now picking up speed. Parker, a little bit upset, thought that he was being whistled for the call, but the advantage was being played, and it will come all the way back. About 15 yards away from midfield. Ignacio Cubedu will take the kick. Here's the free kick, lofted high in the air. Getting a touch to it was GSA. Clearing it away on the far side was Ortiz. Logan Stevens sends it to the far side. They were trying to get it up into the midfield for Cubedu. Instead, here comes GSA. One-touch pass over to the far side. Dancing around towards the end line. Taking it into the box. They shoot it. It hits the post. Rebound. It over the goal. Draws a round of applause from the GSA fans over on the far side. GSA hails from Lilburn, Georgia. Doesn't take a rocket scientist to know where Baltimore Celtic comes from. Baltimore still being pressed on the defensive end. Once again, all these teams that are playing here, the two on the field that you're watching and the two on the field behind us, which would be basically, as you're viewing it on the screen, it would be below your screen and then on the other side. Everybody scored a goal. Everybody had a goal scored against them. So everybody obviously with a draw in their opening matches. Kubetu did a good job to keep that one in, but then it's easily booted away. GSA trying to gain control. The big man, Kendall Edwards, called for the offense down by the end line. No, they'll actually say that that went out just for a goal kick. So the teams that get the win here today, if any, in this group, will be in the driver's seat and will pretty much have their fate in their own hands. The funny thing about getting a draw in the first game, though, is it really kind of puts you in a good position to at least give yourself a shot in the last day. Even if you lose today, you can still get a win on day 3 and potentially give yourself at least 4 points and then see where the chips fall. But obviously you don't want to lose today because that means that somebody is already at 4 points going into day 3. Swinging it around, GSA with it at the back. Slide tackle there and a hard one. Coming away with it, at least momentarily, was Tukba. And then GSA called for the foul. Quick free kick to restart it. Now intercepted by Shafetsky. GSA bench being very vocal. They gain the free kick. It'll come from quite a distance, but we've seen that even in this age group, they're able to put those into the box. And that is right on target, easily claimed there by McNally. Baltimore Celtic, one-touch passing over on the far sideline, but coming away with it was Tony. Now Celtic has it, Kubetu. Almost muscled off, loses his balance. Coach wants a handball. The referee says now it will come out. And another quick restart. Both of these teams trying to catch their opponent, perhaps napping right off those restarts. Interception. Mark Cantor gets it, trying to send it up to the speedy Danique Parker. Coming back on the defensive end was Barr. Parker able to pick his pocket. And I challenge anybody to say that. Parker has been a hard worker for Baltimore Celtic, one of the few bright spots, both he and Ignacio Kubetu. Outside of that, it's been few and far between for Baltimore Celtic, mostly GSA. Kubetu will have a right-footed corner from the near side. A volley will miss the target. Decent chance for Tate Thorne, the center back. And obviously Baltimore Celtic is kind of at a point in this game, still in the early going. He's coming out, taking out the player. And Coach Patera wondering how that was not a foul. From our vantage point, I can somewhat understand his argument. The goalkeeper came out, tried to claim the ball, did not get the ball. Player hit the deck. Obviously, given the vantage point you have on the monitors, you might have seen it better. Perhaps the foul was missed, and perhaps the goalkeeper didn't really get a piece of the man. Baltimore Celtic trying their best to alleviate the pressure here as it's continuing to be put on by the red-clad team out of Lilburn, Georgia. Now trying a counterattack. They wanted to get it up to by Senko. Instead, it's Dylan Gaither. Gaither hands it off to Shevsky. Shevsky, top of the box, towards the outside. Lays it back. Chaurez to Gaither. McDonald avoids the defender. Tokpa had his pocket picked, and no choice for Baltimore Celtic but to try to get that one out of bounds. Doing their best to try to alleviate some pressure here as we'll get a stoppage for the hydration break. Nil-nil is your score here. Group A action in the under 14 side of things. Just about 18 minutes into this game. All these teams trying to pick up very important points. Everybody right now is tied at 1 point, so the victors, if any, in this game and the game behind us will have 4 points after 2 days and put themselves in the driver's seat. If everybody gets ties again, then they're going to be extremely important. Substitutions about to check in now for GSA Academy. Justin Robinson will be the first to come in. He will have one teammate, and then Baltimore Celtic will also make a change as well. So the aforementioned Robinson, and then also Denilson Silva Banda also into the game. Also checking into the game now for Baltimore is Ethan Clark. He'll come into the midfield spot. 0-0 your score. We're about halfway through this half. been mostly GSA this afternoon. Or late morning, as the case is. 11:50 here in the Central Time Zone. It is the afternoon for those of you watching out east. This one popped high up into the air. GSA is going to claim it, at least for the moment. Couple head balls bounding back and forth. Robinson elected not to take that one as he had a teammate in position, but the foul will go against GSA. Baltimore Celtic electing not to go for the quick restart this time. Logan Stevens puts it back into play and then kicks it right to one of the GSA players. Kubedu doesn't come away with it. Now Edwards drops it back. Butts. Far side. Butts again. Over the top. Silva Banda. Now Edwards. Gaither. Far side, back to Gaither in the middle. Puts it on the right, gets it to Edwards. Looking for space. Able to get past his marker. Now up top, one-touch passing, cut out nicely on the back end. Thomas Toney was having none of that. Goalkeeper once again comes out, fails to claim it, and sliding out with purpose. He's taking a risk there. Even as a former goalkeeper myself, Cole McNally has put himself in a couple dangerous areas. Obviously, you have to protect yourself, and that is why you slide. But he runs the risk of potentially taking out the player. GSA was already wanting a penalty kick earlier in the game and not awarded one. They do gain the corner here. Now they're calling a foul, actually, so the ball will be closer. This will amount to what? A short corner, lofted up. Getting a touch to it is McNally as he hit the deck. And now a foul given is GSA called for the offense. Edwards being called. Edwards needs to be careful here. Check that. That was actually Liam Butts. Don't want to be mislabeling anybody, but Coach Patira obviously upset regardless of what happened. He was unhappy that his player continued to argue with the official and then throwing the ball up in the air as well, saying that's not how they do things. That's good to see at this level especially. And occasionally on the boys' side, maybe you see something a bit off-putting perhaps, but really overall it's been good sportsmanship for the most part. It'll be a restart from the near sideline. Throw in coming from Reese Mayer as we get a bit of a breeze. Not going to lie, it feels good. It's been fairly warm here in Tulsa. Going to get even warmer the next few days. Obviously, these people from Georgia and Maryland used to those thick summer days with a lot of humidity. Baltimore pretty much right there on near the coast. They might get a bit of a more of a breeze, but Georgia definitely known for its hot summers, and it's been quite warm here in Tulsa. Going to be warmer even in the next few days. As we've had some rain come through the past few days, that's made the weather reasonably bearable, if not humid, but it's just going to be plain hot The next few days, high 90s. Heat indexes could be in the triple digits. 0-0 here in this score. Baltimore Celtic has found themselves a little bit, although Georgia has really managed to get the possession in their numbers. Parker trying to get around his man. He was able to cut it back away from pressure. Now dances towards the end line. Barr saying, I'm going to take that away from you. Almost a giveaway there. GSA will pick it up over on the far sideline. Picking it up, taking it in. Almost losing it. Ian Butts hit the ground. The official was trying to play the advantage, but none to be had, so they will restart it. Over here to the near side, that was intended for Silva Banda. Now Parker gets ahead to it, and that'll just go out. Goal Soccer Academy, 01 Premier. Out of Lilburn, Georgia, against Baltimore Celtic Dynasty. Obviously out of Baltimore. They have, Baltimore, that is, has struggled to gain a lot of possession in this one. There's been a lot of red, but the one thing that you can say for Baltimore is they've had some counterattacking opportunities. When they've been able to send that long ball up, they've got the speed to track it down. But the majority of the possession right now has gone the way of GSA. Checking into the game now for Baltimore will be Biggie Rutzi. A little bit smaller in stature, but sometimes those are the most fun players to watch. Because in the back of their minds, it always seems like they've got something to prove. And if you can channel that, if you can keep that contained within yourself, a lot of times you'll get good performances. The ones that get a little bit out of hand are the ones that really get the little man syndrome and start taking offense to anybody who's bigger than them. Celtic in control here. This is probably the most possession that they've had in quite a while. The cross in towards the top of the box is labeled over for the near sideline now. That one looked like it took a touch off Parker. It does, so the throw in will come out. GSA struggling to get it out, and how they finally clear the line. Celtic trying to put it right back into the mixer. Too many red jerseys, though, there, as Georgia was pretty much set on the defense. Gaither. Gaither trying to clear. Now Edwards to Robinson. They were looking back for Edwards. This is plopped high in the air. Charez and Parker collide here right at the center stripe. Now the long ball. Trying to get over the top to Ethan Clark. He's not going to be able to wrestle that one away. Now Parker puts on the brakes. Back to the right. Legs take it out. Foul given. So the free kick will come from a reasonably dangerous area. As of right now, they're not going to set up a wall. Now it looks like a two-man wall will be placed in front. Left-footed opportunity coming from Reese Mayer. Parker trying to tie his shoes. Substitution's going to check in now for both squads, given the opportunity. Still waiting on Parker's shoelaces. Now here comes Mayer, and that one well off the mark. Straight as an arrow. Checking back into the game now for GSA is going to be Menkase Tukba. And also into the game now for Baltimore is going to be Dennis Kranovich. Back towards the midfield stripe. Celtic starting to put their mark on this game slowly but surely. They haven't had much in the way of chances, but they've slowly gained their own possession numbers and slowly but surely chipped away at this defense and put a couple opportunities. Throw in from the far sideline, right in front of that Nest Quick sign, one of the sponsors, the official post-game drink of soccer, as this one is left-footed back into the danger area. Was coming out towards the penalty spot, perhaps even the top of the box. Difficult to tell from my vantage point. I'm basically at field level. Trying to get that one with a hard slide tackle was Rutzi, but a little bit too much in that for the official, and it'll come out. Head balls back and forth, trying to get it now is Tukba. Tukba able to knee it down, off the thigh, taken away. Kranovich made the clearance, kept in by GSA. They'll send it into the middle for Gaither. Inside for Chavez. A little bit lackadaisical initially from Butts, but he's able to get around the defense. Butts carrying it over to the right side, trying to send the ball to the corner for Tukba. Tukba will track it down, looking for numbers, trying to find the spaces and get some help. Tukba with a left-footed try, diving to claim that one was McNally. Trying to keep it in on the near sideline was Rutzi, but unfortunately just went over. He's looking at the official with a little bit of disdain. But the linesman's the one that called that one. More substitutions now checking in, trying to keep players fresh. Josiah Ortiz. Most likely not going to be too much stoppage time added on to this one. And had a couple players go down, one obviously with the shoelace issue, but other than that, no goals scored, so not too much extra time to be put on. Rutzi gets a bit of a shove there. Ball goes out. Baltimore Celtic will get it. They would have preferred to have the free kick, but they'll take the ball either way. Settled down by Clark. Looking up the line for Rutzi, but out of his reach. Aruzzi with the fancy footwork. And we're going to get a foul. It came away from the ball. It's going to occur on the wrong side of the half line from Baltimore Celtics' point of view. So they gained the free kick, but well away from goal. Now Baltimore Celtic wasting a little bit of time here. Kind of an interesting decision. Tate Thorne is going to take the free kick. Perhaps hoping that the half will come to a close, as it has over on the other field. Comes to the near side. Oh, well, that was a good ball intended for John Nolan, but instead intercepted. Josiah Ortiz, long ball. Over the top, they're trying to look for Tukpa. Tukpa able to make the steal and keep it around. Dragging that ball, rolling his foot over the top of it. Avoids the sliding defender. Tukpa putting it into a danger area, trying to shove off the defender. It'll go out of bounds. And nothing but a goal kick. Time continues to tick. There can't be much left here in this half. Would not be surprised to see or hear the officials whistle just about any time here. And there it is. Halftime here in this under 14 boys matchup, Group A, between Baltimore Celtic and GSA. We will have no score going into the halftime. I'm going to take a quick break. You're watching the USYS Soccer National Championships presented by Turbo Sports Group. You're watching the 2015 U.S. Youth Soccer National Championships, presented by Turbo Sports Group. Also sponsoring today's action is Nike Soccer, the official supplier of U.S. Youth Soccer. Olive Garden, the official dining room of U.S. Youth Soccer. Sports Authority, the official sporting goods retailer of U.S. Youth Soccer. Wilson Trophy Company, the official awards, pins, and medal supplier of U.S. Youth Soccer. Also sponsoring today's matches are NSCAA, who are a proud sponsor of U.S. Youth Soccer. 0-0 is your score at the half between GSA Premier out of Lilburn, Georgia, and Baltimore Celtic Dynasty, obviously out of Baltimore, Maryland. Both these teams making quite the trek here to Tulsa, Oklahoma, as we are coming to you live from the Mohawk Soccer Complex, just outside of downtown Oklahoma, probably about 10 minutes away or so. The game behind us is also in a draw. So as things stand right now, everybody is going to get another point. And obviously they want to do the best they can with these last 35 minutes here and try to get that all-important extra 2 points. So the players are going to come out onto the field now following the halftime break. Hopefully everyone out there is keeping cool wherever you are. It's a warm one here. It's going to be all week in Tulsa. We're trying our best to keep in the shade and keep hydrated. And players are doing the best they can as well. It's a little bit more difficult for them when they've got to run around. Once again, GSA clad all in red, except for the white trim and numbers. They will be going left to right now, along with their blue goalkeeper. The white-clad Baltimore Celtic will now be going right to left. There's the whistle, and we've started the second half. Second 35 underway here on the U14 men's bracket. Scoreless at the half after 35 minutes of play. Georgia pretty much dominated the possession in that first half. But as the half went on, there was a little bit more from Celtic. Yeah, big push right there. How there's no whistle is a little bit astounding from our broadcast position. GSA, their bench obviously agreeing with that as the forearm was completely extended and the player went down. But getting away with it was by Senko. So Parker for Baltimore Celtic. He'll try a long drive. And fumbling it was Hunter Andrews. Got a little bit excited there. He hasn't been tested too much. And ultimately that's kind of a reason why you want to just send one in on goal, because that wasn't too much in the way of steam behind that for Parker, but you never know what could happen. I mean, if that's straight on goal and that same kind of bobble happens, then that could be in the back of the net. As it is, it's just a corner kick. This one headed on, not quite on target. Cleared away, at least for the moment. Back on top of it was Nolan, but instead here comes the counter. Swinging it the other way, stepping into it. A nice tackle there was Logan Stevens. Nolan comes away with it, trying to get it to Parker. He got a little bit of a touch on it. Thought about taking it back, but instead it's Luke Davis. He tried to send it back over the top to Parker, but Andrews came out and made it his own. So high up in the air, spinning over towards the near side. Collision in the midfield. Again, the official saying that the collision was equal. Coach Patera saying there's no advantage there, but I believe the official was just straight up not going to call something. Touch by Ortiz over on the far side as GSA regains control. Rafael Lopez has it flick off of his head. Parker not quite tall enough to catch up to that one. Lopez back to his own defender and misses kick it. And is able to clear it away as Hunter Andrews was on his toes and came out to get that one. A miss kick there by the defender, the wing back over on the far side, almost allowed Luke Davis to make his way in towards goal. Substitute about to check in now for GSA, given the opportunity. It's not going to come at this dead ball. Some of these restarts are taking quite some time. Celtic way up. He's either going to get a huge run or the official told him to back up quite a lot. Bit of both. This one long into the box. Takes a bounce, and that will go out for a goal kick. And we will get our substitution. Coming into the game will be Jesus Chavez. He'll be coming in, it looks like. Rafael Lopez will take the seat. Celtic trying to press the advantage. They'd had much better in the way of possession. Here comes Parker. He likes to dance around. Takes a shot, took a deflection. Bit awkward there for Andrews as that one was spinning ever so gingerly towards the ground and ended up landing just in front of him, but he was able to get his body behind it and corral the rebound. Ortiz. McDonald. A cheeky little move there with the flick over the top by Tukpa. Tukpa takes a shot and a right-footed save. It hit the shin pad of McNally. He likely would have liked to have put that one further towards the corner, but still a great save by McNally, sticking out the leg. This one is in on goal. Relatively easy save, but once the pressure starts coming, there isn't too much in the way that it could be considered ordinary. Now we have a player come off the pitch. It's Danny Paukar. Perhaps a bloody nose, it looks like. So coming in now for him will be Ignacio Kubadu. High up in the air on the restart free kick. Again, Tukpa with that flick. It's getting a little bit fancy there. Kubadu able to get a right foot to it. They tried to go far side for Senko. Instead, back here for Tukpa. Tukpa takes the mishandle from Celtic. Instead, Celtic will regain it. Near sideline, Tukpa pressing the issue. Parker takes a bit of a shove and pull and grab. GSA coming away with it. Ortiz gets it back. Bodies flying everywhere in the midfield. Wisely staying on his feet there. The pass for Tukpa was not quite on target. Trying to get to it is Luke Davis. Tracking it down in the corner was Barr. And it will roll out for a goal kick. It's been a fairly wide open half so far to no effect, surprisingly. Both teams have had their chances. Both goalkeepers have been tested. Here comes Edwards. A ball through the middle, a shot, and another save by McNally. Liam Butts was played through beautifully by Kendall Edwards. He got a great shot off, a lot of power. But once again, coming out to cut off the angle and making the diving save was McNally. This one played high up into the box. Edwards pushes his man down. He will get called for the foul. It looked like McNally may have gotten a piece of it anyway. Handball called in the midfield. That will give the free kick to Celtic. All these teams have been fairly cautious. They've created chances. You can't take that away from them. But just the overall feel of the game, whether it's the game behind me, I can tell that from the crowd reaction as well, or this game as well. Here's a shot from Kubadu and ranging over to make the save to his right. It will be a corner, but Hunter Andrews had to be sharp on that one. It had just enough curl on it to be dangerous. Corner kick upcoming for Baltimore Celtic. It's a low line drive, takes a bounce, flick. And there it's cleared up, not quite out. Headed back into the danger area by Privet. Finally, Hunter Andrews was able to make the claim. Line drive punt. Baltimore Celtic back in control of it. Here's an in-swinger. Baltimore pressing the attack, making dangerous runs now. Sent back into the box. GSA is able to clear the line at least momentarily. Collision right there in the middle of the pitch. The referee says again it was equal. Coming out to grab this one off the bounce is Andrews. Off the top of the head of Andrew Privet. Substitution coming in now. Anant Johnson will come in for Baltimore Celtic. Getting a rest is Tate Thorne. Cantor plays it off the defender, trying to get it back. He does so from the end line, centered. He had Kubadu there, was deflected away by the defense. The shot right at the goalkeeper. Andrews didn't have to move too much. There was a bit of shot, though. Nobody following it up, though, for Celtic. So even if he had bobbled it, it probably would have been right back into his possession. Now Andrews will blast it away all the way to center field. GSA trying to get something going here. They have not had much in the way of attack in the last 5 minutes or so. They had a couple great opportunities, forcing sliding saves from Cole McNally. Baltimore able to knock this one away. Another substitution going to come in at the next opportunity for Baltimore Celtic. It's going to be Danny Paukar checking back in. Very difficult there to muscle him off the ball with the size difference there. Popped up off the foot of Geither. Baltimore Celtic back on top of it, but Ortiz was able to nip that one in the bud. Paukar almost got on the end of that one. Actually did get a touch, but intended it for Parker. Now touching it around the defender, picking up speed up the near wing. Big tackle there. The referee says that it's all legal. That is extremely upsetting. The Georgia team, GSA, very upset that there was no foul given. Near side linesman said she didn't have a good angle on it, and the center official said that the ball was gotten. Now here comes Parker. He puts one across. And that'll go all the way across. Back across from the far side. This time it's Johnson. Popped one up that easily claimed there by Andrews. He had a player come into his face towards the end of that, but the attack kind of petered out with that one. Here's the long ball over the top. Chasing it down is Tukba. Parker able to get a piece of it. Goes into touch. Throw in for Celtic. Johnson will go to the back line. He intended that one for Parker, but the defender wanting the players to check back to the ball so he wouldn't have to play that kind of long ball. McDonald gets it off the throw, plays it back to his defender. Barr will send it far side. Up through the middle. Looking for Edwards. Takes a bit of a hip check there. Out of the near side for McDonald. He's got a little bit of space. If he carries to the corner, he wants to cut it back inside. Gets around one defender, right into the head of the center back. Still on it is Tukpa. Tukpa with the cross. And the volley left something to be desired from Liam Butt. That was going to be a difficult angle right from the start. So we get a whistle, and with the stoppage in play, we will have a hydration break. As the teams come over to the benches to get some water and perhaps some sports drinks during the hydration break. We get a chance to give you updates on this group action. Still, right now, everybody tied. 0-0 here. I know that it's tied on the far side. I do not know the score for sure. But what an interesting final day of group play that would set up in this under-14 group. If everybody ended up with 2 points going into day 3. I honestly don't know what the tiebreaker would be if everybody had the same amount of goals. For example, if everybody scored a goal and let one up in game 1. I don't believe anybody has scored a goal here in game 2. So if you go in and everybody gets a tie in game 3, then what happens? Most likely it would have to come down to penalty kicks because obviously you wouldn't have anything else to differentiate the teams. More fresh legs trying to put on here as Johnson comes off for Celtic. And coming off for a breather is Michael Manduharo. It is 12:38 local time as we get started here again after the hydration break. Hopefully you're all having a good afternoon out on the East Coast. Or wherever you're watching from. All the games in this tournament are proudly brought to you by Turbo Sports. And remember, for all your highlights and video streaming needs, and for videos of all the games that we've presented here at this tournament, you can pick those up after the tournament's finale at turbosportsgroup.com. Celtic trying to clear the back line, held in. McDonald plays it across. He's looking for Edwards. It was just too far. Danger not alleviated, though. Now Celtic will clear it out. Parker gets it for Celtic, taking it in towards the middle. Celtic has been much more dangerous since about halfway through the second half. An ambitious chance there from Luke Davis. That was hopeful at best. Free kick given. Andrews imploring his team to charge up the field. Long ball sent. That'll go over the top of Edwards. Cleared away by the Celtic defense. Kubadu puts his foot up in the air. trying to send it over the top. Oh, a nice flick there. Running onto the ball is Nilson Silva Banda. Edwards with the chance. He shoots, and it's wide. Once again, everybody on the Georgia bench was standing up. They thought for sure that that was going to be in the back of the net. But again, you have to give some credit to Cole McNally. He came out, cut off some of the angle, really put the pressure on Edwards, and probably deserved some credit for forcing that wide. Headed away by Kubadu. As Celtic trying to blast it back up the pitch. Andrews will put it back into play from the punt. Nobody collecting it, really. Looking for Parker. And that'll just roll back towards the keeper. Touched around by Clark. Little pop-up towards midfield. Good body work there. There's a bit of a push, getting away with it. Edwards coming away. Down low for McDonald. Near side for Silva Banda. Silva Banda with the footwork. Back heel for McDonald. He's going to cut in towards the box. Outruns Parker. Trying to send it across. It's dangerous. And then cleared away. Now potential numbers here. Celtic cannot clear the line. Defender had made the run. Still making the run. Free kick taken. Quickly back in by GSA. Digging up by Butts. He'll take it all the way towards the end line. Trying to split the defense. Did for a moment, but the ball was kind of stuck in the grass. Chested down by McDonald. And now we get a foul. Byasenko will check back into the game now for Baltimore Celtic. Coming out was the hard-working Ethan Clark. He was not necessarily pleased about being subbed. Back into play. And right back to GSA. Sanko, fresh off the bench, makes the steal, trying to get it to Parker. Parker couldn't quite get the touch on it that he would have liked. Sent up the near side again, looking for Parker. He is just a workhorse out there. Blasted way up into the air. Push from behind, gotten away with it. Now tugging on the jersey, still getting away with it. The official has let them play. Now Kubadu looking up, trying to find something, wanted to go for Parker. And now we get a handball. It's going to go against GSA. That draws the ire once again at the GSA bench. Reese Mayer is going to take, nope. As soon as I say that, Kubadu will come back and take the free kick. So Kubadu will send this one in with the right foot. Does he have the touch to put it on somebody's head? Time ticking away on this one. Is following the hydration break. That means that there's less time ahead as there is behind. Now a good ball in, but nicely headed down by GSA. They send it up to the forward side of things, looking for Tokpa. Instead, Celtic will take it. That was not held in by Luke Davis. Long ball sent in. Andrews able to easily claim it. I kind of think we're hitting that point in the match where people are starting to hit the wall a little. You get that hydration break, and you would kind of think that that would give you a little bit of energy, but as somebody who works out and trains and not necessarily runs a whole lot, but just in general, sometimes that little bit of hydration just kind of replenishes what you lost. It doesn't necessarily refuel, and you still kind of hit the wall. And I think that's what we're seeing a little bit here from both sides as we're, again, getting kind of mired down in the midfield. Edwards takes a bit of a knock from behind, and the whistle was blown. I don't know that a foul has been given. I think they're going to err on the side of caution here, as it looked like Stevens might have hit his head right into the shoulder blades of Edwards. So especially at this level, but just in sports in general, everybody's kind of being more cautious now with potential head injuries, especially given the heat. I mean, everything is really compounded when you add that in. So it is indeed no foul. The substitution will be allowed for Stevens. He's a little bit confused. Hopefully that's not due to the head injury situation. I think he wants to come right back in, basically. But Rutzi is about to check back in as well, given the chance. But we are going to have a drop ball. And in a rare occasion, both teams are going to go for it. Apparently a missed start there. This time it's won by Celtic, but not with any kind of possession, as there was a bit of a scrum there. Now it comes towards the back line, booted away. That'll go over the head of McDonald, who's strangely enough on the back line now. And again, just a big boot right into the midfield, this time claimed by Celtic. Cantor going near side for Parker, and just too much on it. Rutzi will check into the game now for Baltimore Celtic. Just about 4 minutes left in this one. Obviously, that would include some stoppage time. If you want to get technical, we have about 3 minutes and change until we hit the end of this one. 35-minute halves at this age bracket. Headed back the other way. Once again, it's just back and forth like ping pong right now. Edwards almost had it. Parker slicing it towards the middle of the pitch. He's got some space now. Now they try to take him out. And no foul given. It looked like he stepped on him from behind, but given the way that the official has called the game, that's basically been the way it has been for both teams. Lifted up the field by Gaither. Back towards the midfield stripe. Silva Banda. As there was a wrestling match going over on the far side. That has been the one thing that you can say for this official. I don't think either coach has been happy with him, but he has called it basically the same way both ways. Edwards gives it on. Streaking through is Gaither. Gaither all the way through, diving out to get a piece of it. It's still alive in the danger area. Trying to put it back into the box. And that one will cross over to the far side, and Celtic is able to clear for the moment. That's Ortiz. This one rolls into the box. McNally will put it on the foot and then pick it up. Parker sends it off the thigh of his teammate, Danny Paukar. And GSA will come back the other way. Hitting the brakes a little bit. And there is a clear foul. And there will be a yellow card issued. It's going to go against, I believe, Reese Mayer. There were a lot of players around. Hard to tell from our vantage point. So off the free kick, they're trying to put it over the top. Goalkeeper came out, was in no man's land. It's bouncing in between the defenders and the offensive players. Nobody able to get a foot to it, and then it's finally cleared away. A good touch there, and it needed to be. Otherwise, Parker could have been off to the races. Again, they've got those little speedy players up top for Baltimore Celtic. But right now, GSA is pressing their advantage. To the far side for Tokpa. Up the left wing, trying to put one into the box. A shot off the back of the defender. Trying to center that one off the head ball. Now a shot, that one is blocked. And cleared away. Ruzzi trying to outrace Tony. He heads it back to his goalkeeper, and he'll be able to pick it up. Off the head of Silva Banda. Now we have a pause for an injury, and that will allow them to have another hydration break. So an interest there is basically time is just about up. I mean, you can see there's 70 minutes up on the clock. And now there was miscommunication about what was going on with the potential substitute. Ortiz was the player that was down. They weren't going to allow him to come back in until play had resumed, so now they were going to have to put in Alec Leak for at least the restart. There can't be much time left. I mean, this, as I said, this is an interesting turn of events, and once again, the officials saying that it was a misstart. They did not allow the ball to hit the ground. Rutzi hits the ground, and he draws the foul. Substitution will be allowed now as Ortiz will check back in for Leak. The official has not had an easy day here, to say the least. He's been getting it from all angles. Taking the free kick will be John Nolan. Last gasp. There just cannot be too much time left. I mean, there's been a couple players down, but outside of the hydration break and the officials' own breaks, this one just really hasn't had a whole lot of stoppage time. I mean, 0-0 with the score as that goes off the shoulder. It'll be a throw-in coming up as they take it quickly. GSA trying to press it up the field. Tukba will settle it off the thigh on the right foot, trying to send it onto the running Edwards. He had some space, but the crown of the field kind of took it in an odd direction. Edwards looking to take on the defender. He'll drop it down low for Butts. Butts had his pocket picked. And there's the final whistle. Another draw in this Group A match. I do not have the final score of that other game, so you'll have to go to championships.usoccer.org to get the updated standings. But as of right now, both of these teams have 2 points. So that'll just about wrap it up for our coverage of this game. An uneventful game in terms of scoring, but a relatively eventful game in terms of what the referee had to deal with. Chances galore. The goalkeepers both made a couple saves, but 0-0 is how she will finish. So for Mark here in the truck, I'm Todd Panula. For everyone here at Turbo Sports, we thank you for watching, and good afternoon.